When you wake up in the morning and the light is hit your head, the first thing you do when you get up out of bed, hit them streets a running and try to meet the masses. Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses.
My name's Dan Monahan, and I play Billy Gibbons in ZZ Tush, a tribute to that little old band from Texas.
My name is John Roach. I'm the bassist with ZZ Tush. I cover all Dusty Hill's material, live and loud.
How did Steve get connected with the two of you?
Auditions. We put some auditions out. We had some drummers come in.
Out and he showed up.
He showed up and he seemed to be the best one with the beats and kind of clicked in with his drum. His drum is phenomenal. And it's what we call doing homework to learn the note-to-note renditions of the songs. And his beats are just right there.
He's nailing what Frank's playing.
He really is. All the old stuff and a lot of the new stuff he's really doing.
You decide to do the ZZ Top tribute and then audition Steve?
No.
Or?
Well, yeah, because we had a different drummer at first. And he was more of a jazz drummer. He was a good drummer, but his heart wasn't in the rock. He wanted to play jazz. And so
Right.
then we got Steve and found what works.
Yeah, once the cover band ended, Dan and I weren't doing anything, and I had an idea, and Dan come by the shop one day, and I said, let's do ZZ Top, we can do it. Then we put out the audition for the first drummer. We had the first drummer. He performed for about a year and a half with us, but he just couldn't grab on to the full tribute, Chumley Go. He just couldn't grab on to, you have to be an impersonator and a player, and he was jazz, more of a and then we got another drummer, and Steve stepped in, and he was a rock drummer. Trust me, he's a rock drummer. He beats the hell out of them drums.
How many guys did you audition before Steve?
Oh, I don't know.
We had quite a few. We even had them coming in. That one guy was in from Sparks. Came down from Sparks to come down with us here.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a half a dozen or so. But a lot of them, they didn't get the concept of the tribute show. A lot of them just wanted to be in a band. And it's more than just learning the music. It's doing the homework, watching how they perform, doing their moves on stage, and selling to the crowd. That's Billy Gibbons. This is Dusty Hill. That's Frank Beard back there kicking them drums. That's what you gotta sell. And it's a hard concept for a lot of people to grab onto.
What appealed to us about putting this together is, the music's good, but it's also a show. It's not just playing the music. There's the visuals, there's the costumes, there's the props, there's the choreography. They put on a show, and we approach it like that, and that's what makes it the most fun for us.
So when somebody calls you or refers to you as a cover band, I'm sure
No. We're not a cover
I
band.
blow
Right.
up.
Okay.
Because a cover band is going to cover music. It's usually different bands. The Beatles, the Who, the Stones, whatever. They're covering all that music. We're a tribute band to it. We're selling ZZ Top. We want the ZZ Top fans to come in and look at us and say, wow, they sound like them, they look like them, they move like them.
We want it to feel like they're coming to a ZZ Top concert. Get that kind of a feel to it. A cover band, they play the songs, and they play them very well, but it's not putting on the show.
Do most people, the general population, do they understand that difference?
I think so.
Yeah, some do. Some do. A lot of in the music world, they understand what the tribute is. And even when I mention people that I'm in a ZZ Top tribute, the first thing they will ask me, do you have the beard? Do you have the flashy clothes? Do you have the cool drum kit? Do you have the fur guitars? And my answer is always going to be yes, because we do.
Like you wouldn't be a tribute band without that. Like
That's right.
Exactly. We would be a ZZ Top cover band.
That makes sense.
Two old guys playing ZZ Top with a drummer.
When in your life did ZZ Top have an effect on you where you kind of knew this band is going to have an influence on me the rest of my life? Was there a song, a video, just a moment in your life?
For me, yeah. For you?
Well, when I was in high school and they were new, and I was, of course, playing in bands in high school and stuff, and I think it was Waiting for the Bus was the song that first grabbed me, and we did that one in the band, and I enjoyed what they were doing, and so they've kind of always been in my wheelhouse since. I always, look forward to what they're coming up with next. They always had a different attitude than a lot of other bands.
The flashy clothes, the beards.
Yeah, you know, even before they got too fancy, they were putting on a show. I also have a kind of a musical theater background, and so I always appreciated not just somebody getting up there and playing, but somebody saying, "Here I am, I'm putting on a show," and they did that, and that appealed to me.
Nice.
Yeah. I was introduced to them back like in the late 60s, beginning of the 70s when they first came out with their very first album, ZZ Top's first album. A friend of mine had that on an 8-track in a car. And we were playing in local high school bands, doing the Battle of the Bands. And I was like, man, let's play some of this stuff. These guys are really good. But back then it was the Rolling Stones, The Who, Jethro Tull. Everybody knew them. They didn't know ZZ Top. And I said, wow, these guys are great. I love this stuff. And so did he. And that's where I got the grip on, but I never thought it was going to end up like this.
What's your favorite ZZ Top song and album? If you can choose one, I understand maybe you can.
There's not a particular album, although I do like their last studio album, La Futura. It's got some good stuff on that. And off of that album, I Gots to Get Paid. That's a good one. And for the other albums, well, I mentioned how Waiting for the Bus was the first song that really grabbed me. It had a cool guitar riff, and they got some. And I Just Got Paid Today also has a really cool riff on it. It's the guitar riffs that grab me, as you know, the guitar player.
And it's always been that way for you with the band?
Pretty much, yeah. The riff grabs you first and pulls you in.
I'm pretty much back to ZZ Top's first album. Just when I play it, I hear it, it's like, oh man. When I was a kid, I heard all this stuff with my buddies playing. You know, and there's just a lot of good albums. Some not so good, but some real good. Probably the latest one that they did, it's the ZZ Top's Greatest Hits All Over the World. And their live performances of their major songs from all different venues, from live from Texas, from France, from Belgium, from Argentina, just all these different songs from different concerts.
That's cool.
Yeah, real cool. Favorite songs to play? You know, I enjoy playing them all. I have songs that I don't really like to play that we kind of keep on the back burner, but we do perform at some shows. But I think, like Dan said, Waiting on the Bus and Jesus Just Left Chicago are two songs that they perform, but the transition between the songs, it's just so cool to have one song sound like it's almost over, and bam, you're into the other song. It's just a really cool transition on them songs.
So if somebody had never heard ZZ Top before, and you could only hand them one album to listen to give them the most complete picture, what would you recommend?
Whoa. Oh my God. Yeah.
Tres Hombres?
Probably Eliminator. Nah.
No.
Tres Hombres.
Yeah, something from the 70s.
Yeah.
Tres Hombres.
Why Tres Hombres over Eliminator?
Eliminator, they're in the 80s. They're doing more of a techno kind of thing. There's synthesizer rhythm tracks and stuff going on a lot of that. That's good stuff, but the stuff with a real heart to it is the earlier stuff. And then this last album, again, I keep going back to La Futura. Think about that. But
That's cool though that you're such a fan of the new album, because it seems like with a lot of bands who have been around a long time,
yeah,
it's that newer stuff that you really have to try to force yourself to
and
like.
there were a couple of albums around 2000, around that area, that were okay, had a good song or two, but never grabbed me. But this last one, I can feel it pretty much throughout the album. It's got a good feel to it.
Nice.
Good energy.
So before joining ZZ Top, as you guys know, Billy Gibbons played with Hendrix.
Uh-huh.
So if you could play with anybody who's no longer with us, who would you like to jam with?
Jimmy. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Frank Zappa.
So what are, of some of the other tribute bands that you've seen, who are some of your favorites? Besides you guys, of course.
Like I said, Van Halen, Southern California, Aerosmith, Petty Fever. We're doing a show with Petty Fever the beginning of next year, January,
In Washington.
at the Point Casino in Kingston,
Seattle.
Washington. And oh my God, great band. They've got all great band. Look like Tom Petty, play like Tom Petty. Oh yeah,
Petty Fever, huh?
Petty Fever. Good band.
So you're going up to Washington for shows. Is that pretty consistent? Do you guys head out
That's what's happening now. What's going to start happening now? Booking out of state.
because of the schedule, or?
Because before our job restrictions, Dan's got a job where he's like the main man. My job was, I was the main man, and just, I was working 6 days a week for 10, 12 years, and just taking off of work. Even when we were taking off just doing a couple of weekend shows, it was like hard to do. Coming back with notes all over my desk, and Dan would get notes all over his desk when he got back to his, but now that I retired and we're gonna start stepping out farther. And everybody knows who we are. Casinos in Vegas know who we are. We have 2 agents in Vegas, we have 2 agents in Reno. You know, some people in LA picked us up. Everybody wants information, and they know we're out of, but they also know we're prepared to travel.
So you must be really excited. I mean, that to me that seems like getting to that point where you can now head out and do these shows. It's gotta
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting. And booking like out of state for one show, and then on a return trip, finding somewhere else to perform and make like a weekend deal out of it and be gone for 3 or 4 days and do 2 big shows, and it's good money.
Nice. So is there any place that you guys haven't played yet that you're looking forward to or you're trying to book dates at?
Oh, what? No.
Well, we're waiting for the Hard Rock to open up the new one up here in Wheatland.
Yeah.
We're already in their register of bands to perform. Thunder Valley they've got a place there called Pano Hall, trying to get in there. We do a really cool gig. We're gonna be playing this month, the 29th is a Sunday. We're gonna be at the Mont Bleu showroom at the Mont Bleu Casino in South Lake Tahoe. Ready for this? With a Leonard Skinner tribute
Really?
called Skin and Leonard. They're from out of Vacaville area. We played there with them last year. We had a great crowd. They called us back, and come on, ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner.
In fact, this is ZZ Top's 50th anniversary, so they're on their 50th anniversary tour. This is Leonard Skinner's farewell tour, because they're looking to retire. And they're touring together. They're doing shows together now, so what better thing for us to do but a tribute with Skin and Leonard.
Who's been around longer? That's got to be like right about the almost exact
ZZ
same.
Top, the longest running band with the same original members, 50 years.
When did Leonard Skinner start those? Like 71, 72?
Yeah.
Early 70s?
Yeah, they've had a few
Top
since
was 69.
69. They had a few with the plane accident and other bands. Like the
Yeah.
Stones have run a long time. They picked up Ronnie Wood in 75. But as far as the original members, bada bing, ZZ Top.
Same 3 guys, same 3 chords.
I saw an interview, one of the interviews, it was when Frank was going to rehab. I think it was the end of the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
And the interviewer asked Billy, was there ever a point where you thought about replacing him? And he was just like, there is no other
There is
guy.
there is
Like,
that.
this
He's the
is-
guy.
Yeah. And so you watching stuff like that, it's not hard to see why 50 years later they're still able to sit right next to each other and laugh and talk.
Well, one of their biggest things was how they stay together so long, and Billy said, separate buses. They all had their own tour bus, separate buses.
It's like that tall fences make great neighbors.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Well, if you couldn't be a ZZ Top tribute band anymore, you had to pick somebody else, who would it be?
Deep Purple. I enjoy playing at a Deep Purple tribute. I'm a big Deep Purple fan.
Tom Petty.
Really?
Yeah. I
Not
auditioned
myself?
for a Petty tribute prior to putting the ZZ Top show together, the ZZ Tush show. And I auditioned with them, and I got the job. But they weren't tribute.
They're just
They were a bunch of guys that wanted to cover Tom Petty, and they didn't want to step out and do what I wanted to do, and I thought that's what they were doing. And it was like, man, I got the job, but I don't want to stay.
So you guys have met the band, so we can do that. I want to talk a little bit about the clothing, because ZZ
All right.
Top, I think they're maybe a little bit underrated by the general public about how snazzy they dress.
Sharp dress man.
That's
How
right.
hard is that to keep up with?
Yeah, we got to work on that. Look at.
I mean, you look fantastic.
Well, we've got a gal that does some stuff for us. A lot of stuff we do ourselves. I own the Bedazzler. I'll take it.
But yeah, we got to pay attention to the costumes. We got to get the look right.
Yeah,
We
the look.
got what, 4 or 5 different jackets.
Show
to choose
stuff, we
from,
decide what to bring.
a few
And
different
even,
hats.
even with the guitars, we have to decide what guitars we're gonna bring to mimic what they perform with. I get pretty intense, like with this one here, I took photos up close off the internet of Dusty Hill, and this bass has almost the same exact scratches that his has.
Not.
Because when I had this up on the guitar bench with the picture in front of me, and my chisels and my screwdrivers, oh, there's a scratch, oh wait, oh, there's 3 here. Oh, there's something, there's a little one right, oh. Yeah, I'm pretty whack-a-doodle that way.
So you have to, well, like if he plays that same bass on a show and you notice a new scratch, you gotta immediately.
Right on, brother, I do.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it is, everything is taken to the shows in travel containers, but if by some chance, if I scratch it, I don't care. Because another scratch is just a notch on the handle.
Well, plus, it sounds like you have the skills where you can fix anything that you accidentally did anyway.
We do, but we hopefully everything will be fine when we get out there. We do a gear check, hopefully everything's good.
How much gear do you take with you? Like how many basses, how many guitars, like how many switches are you doing during the show?
We do, depending on the length of a show, we'll do 2 or usually 3 changes. But we'll bring I'll bring 5 or 6 guitars. It's always good to have a spare because you never know. But yeah, we'll change it up.
Yeah, we'll decide before the show in an email. Dan will say, hey, let's open up
Yeah.
with the little red, and he'll use little red right there, and then maybe I'll use
This is my
this.
latest one. I like this one.
I'll use
Great
this
deal.
beater here, and then we'll do a change to where we may use the burner guitars, where Dan's got a guitar that matches this one, that's all
Yeah.
burned up, and we'll use these burners. And these got burned in my backyard. Stripped them all down, got a butane torch on them, burned them all down. Got a little ZZ Tush plate on there.
Damn. Yeah, that's nice.
And if you look at ZZ Top, these are mimics to what they're like complete copies.
So it sounds like, I mean, down to like every detail, and it's pretty obvious, you know, checking out your stuff online that you guys really do the tribute. How do you decide then what songs you're going to play? Because they've got a pretty wide open catalog.
Well, we follow a lot of their. We check their set lists, and there are some standard hits that gotta play. People will expect them, and then every once in a while we'll try to bring in something else that maybe they don't expect. There's some fun stuff that maybe not everybody's that familiar with. But we open the show like they do, and we close the show like they do. And then basically follow their list with a few changes up depending on the gig.
So some
Depending
of
on what
it,
the audience might respond to.
some of it based on your mood too, just what you feel like playing that
Yeah.
night or what
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes we can, tell what kind of a mood a place is. Well, man, I don't know if this song's going to work for this tonight, for this one.
So we'll shout something on stage, hey, let's pass this over, and
Yeah,
something's a little bit more slower tempo, and the house is rocking, Dan will say, hey, let's skip this and let's throw this one in,
yeah.
and then we'll throw something else in.
That's a good idea. I've never understood why a band will have the house up on their feet rocking and then decide then to go into an acoustic set or something.
Yeah.
It always seemed weird.
No, yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, we play it off like that. If it's happening, they don't get nothing soft.
What are some of your favorite songs to play that when that one's coming up, you're thinking about that song as you're still playing the last one, like you're just...
Cheap sunglasses, everybody knows that song.
Cheap Sunglasses is fun. That's
Why?
a
What makes
good-
it fun for you guys as the players?
The introduction. Dan's introduction to that song. How do you introduce it?
I'll say, now's the time of the show to get in the mood. Now's the time to search through your purse or look through your pockets, whip them out and put on your cheap sunglasses.
And usually by then, everybody's got them on. In some shows,
Yeah.
I got a bag here with about 100 sunglasses.
Yeah,
Sometimes
so we'll give them out.
we'll give them out prior to the show, and the next thing you know, everybody on the dance floor got
It
sunglasses.
gets them on their feet. Whatever gets them on their feet and right up to the stage.
That's awesome.
That makes it fun.
Do you have people yell out stuff? Like impatiently or maybe
Yeah,
not? wanting to-
sometimes.
Yeah, get off the stage!
Free bird!
Free bird!
Has that happened?
Play Proud Mary!
Do you ever get? This wasn't the question I was gonna ask.
No,
Do you
no,
ever
none
get
of that. That's
requests?
just joking.
Oh,
No, we
okay.
get people shouting out, "Are you gonna play this? Do you play anything off the Triple X album? Do you?"
And generally, it's on the list, so we tell them it's coming up.
Do you hear this? Is it pretty much more or less the same handful of requests, or do you get requests that are just all over the place with 50 years of?
A lot of
Yeah.
different. There's
Yeah.
a song that we do called Blue Jean Blues. It's a blues number, a great blues number. Dan nails it. And we were at a show the one time. We finished the number prior to that. It was kind of quiet, and Dan's noodling on the guitar, just going through some blues riffs. And then he hits like the first 4 notes of that song,
The song starts off with going do 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 do.
and it's like
And this
it's like
guy out there
with,
goes,
it's like with
"Yeah!"
Sweet Child. Everybody knows the intro lick to Sweet Child, right? Dan hits that note, and this guy's like, oh damn! And he was like beside himself that we were playing that song. He was right there in front, and he knew the song.
How's that make you feel when you pull
That
one
was
out like
good.
that? And
That's good. It feels
Yeah,
good.
especially when it's note-to-note renditions that they're hearing. You know, they're not just hearing something close. That everybody's done their homework. And
do you feel like when you pull one of the lesser-known songs out and then you have a reaction like that, do you feel more of a connection with that
Yeah.
band than?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's a fan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
sit down.
Yeah.
Sit down.
What has been one of the craziest things that's happened to you guys in terms of fan interaction? During a show, outside of a show,
Gal
What
jumping
is-
up on the stage.
Yeah.
jumping up on the
This
stage?
Yeah.
Drunk gal jump on the stage and she's knocking over props and stuff. And we're trying not to miss a beat. And we're playing along. Anybody want to come?
And that was
help
like a
us lay up
5-foot
the-
high stage.
Yeah.
She
I don't know how
swung her
got
leg up
there.
on there like the cops were chasing her. And she got up there and I'm looking and I just don't want her to bang into anything. So then finally, she got to my right and she was dancing. So I started dancing and grooving with her. And then she started, hey, it's okay. This guy's dancing with me because I'm liquored up. And she's dancing and grooving with me. And the next thing you know, bam, security snagged her.
From a technical standpoint or a player standpoint, what's the hardest ZZ Top song to play?
Probably I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide. Because it does a lot of timing changes. It's just not a steady beat through it. And it's fun to do. I like a musical challenge. But we got that nice and tight, but if you hear it, you'll hear slows up, speeds, slows down, speeds up. It does that kind of thing. That makes it a challenge to hold it together.
And it's probably one of the busiest bass songs,
Yeah.
which
there's a
I
lot-
really
lot
enjoy.
going on.
There's a lot of bass going on in that song. Same position, but a lot of different notes, and that's how I like to play all the lights.
So you still play that one though, even though it's.
Oh yeah.
That's our introduction song.
After we introduce the members of the band, we jump into that one.
But what's
Of course
funny
it
is,
is true.
we'll introduce the band, and right before he plays that down, 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 the Nationwide lick from the commercials. And everybody hears that, they don't think of the song, they go, oh, that's that
Nationwide.
Nationwide.
Right.
I'm
And
Bad,
then
I'm
Nationwide.
Nationwide.
I've never put that together. And I have to go home and look it up and listen.
Well, you know the commercial with Peyton Manning?
Yeah, yeah.
And,
That country guy.
that country guy.
Paisley.
Paisley.
Brad Paisley.
Brad Paisley. He's in a band. I'm in a band. That's what he said. Yeah, just that lick. When people hear it, they know it's the Nationwide commercial.
So do you get kind of a look like what's going on here, like from the people who don't know?
Sometimes get a little reaction. It happens pretty quick.
You guys are just goofing off for
Yeah.
a second or something.
It's like when
They'll get the joke.
It's like when you play the lick from 007.
Yeah.
Which is part of the end of a song that we do, and he plays a lick from 007.
Da-da-da-da.
Everybody knows that lick.
Right.
And I shoot the crowd.
Of all the hits that ZZ Top has had, which one gets the most reaction from people in the audience when they recognize what's getting played?
Legs is always a winner.
Legs. We come out with those fur guitars, they know what's gonna happen. Because that's the only song they play with legs.
And most of the audience recognizes the guitar before they hear it and know
Yep.
what you're about. Wow.
Yeah, as soon as they see the guitar, they know what's coming out.
Dan makes a comment about, I got something to show you. And then when we step off stage and walk on with those fur guitars, they know what's happening.
Do you see a lot of familiar faces at your shows, regardless of, how, I guess within an
Yes.
hour or two of
Yes.
running?
We'll see some people that,
Yeah, there was a gal prior to the last show at Wind River. She was at the previous show at Wind River. She was at this show at Wind River, and she said to me, "The tickets for the Cascade aren't on sale yet. How do I get them?" So she's going to be at the Cascade. She's a biker. She rides with a biker club up there, her and her husband. Yeah, we see a lot of sex faces. My
Nice.
family.
yeah, we see them too.
Got a lot of family support.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, real nice.
They hit the road with you too? Come out
They
to-
do. They go to the big shows out of town, and we get a big table in front for everybody. And sometimes they'll come backstage in the dressing room. My brother from Georgia flew out one time for a show, and he got a chance to come backstage and with the Leonard Skinner show and see how we get treated backstage in the green room. And they treat you pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah, they do.
How far from the original version of the song do you guys like to go when you're on stage, or do you try to keep that pretty tried and true?
Actually, we start off with the recorded version, and that's our foundation for the song. But then we'll look. YouTube is great. We'll look online to see what ZZ Top is doing now, because they change it up. They'll play it a little bit different. So we'll lean to that to give it fresh, get us some new ideas, still in the ballpark of what they're doing. So we don't really take it very far. We want to stay loyal to the original song. We don't want to go off on a tangent, me going off with some ego guitar solo that Billy would never do.
That doesn't, yeah, it's,
That doesn't fly.
yeah.
So we stay with the core of the song, and there's a little bit of room for improvisation, but
Not
when
much.
I improvise, I still have to sound like it's Billy doing that improv and not me.
Yeah.
So
It's best to keep it like as close as you can to the note-to-note renditions.
Mhm.
And like Dan was saying, I'll listen to the recorded stuff in the studio, and then what we call doing homework, we'll watch them on YouTube. And it's funny because I'll tell Perry, "Oh my God, Dusty Hill, do you hear the notes he just played? What the hell is that?" And then the next morning I'm in here, and I'm pulling up, I'm playing these notes, so I'm doing a lot of live stuff, and I'm doing a lot of recorded stuff, but it's all exactly what he's playing.
It doesn't seem like the three of those guys have ever had really an issue with one guy wanting to go a different direction. Within your band, is there ever a time when one of you is like, "Man, I really want to try this," even though it's out of what ZZ Top would do?
no, not really.
No,
Because we know that that's what
yeah.
we're doing. That's the show that we're putting on, and it wouldn't make any sense to try something outside of the show.
That's one of the best things about doing tribute. The set list, we do what they're doing. If there's any one-liners, we do what they're doing. If there's any moves on stage, hello, we do what they're doing. If we see something new and we like it, we do what they're doing. So that's what we're just doing what they're doing.
Do you have any performances that you look back in the last 10 years and you're like, so far that has been a real highlight for either you personally or for the band?
Ready.
Back to Reading.
Ready, the Montbleu casinos, we did a
Yeah.
couple at the Nugget in Sparks, an outdoor festival there, thousands of people coming through, and just watching their heads turn when they see us, because they think for some reason it's the real ZZ Top is performing here. And there's just a lot of them that are just too cool.
What festival did you do at the Nugget?
It was the Southern Fair.
It was an outdoor food event, an all-weekend event, and that was what we played.
I lived in Reno for about 8 years, and some of those shows and events they put on in that square there right outside the Nugget are just
Yeah.
phenomenal.
So we played right there. We played the Sands. We did a summer tribute fest up there.
The
With
Sands was a good show.
With a Van
That's another
Halen.
highlight.
That was a good one. The Sands. With a Van Halen and a Billy Idol tribute. They played 1 week or 1 month, and we played another month. And that was a good one too with the Sands in Reno.
Reno's always a pretty good time. You guys get up there a lot?
We try,
Oh,
but there's
yeah.
a lot of agents that book the same bands up there. You know what I mean? But we're in there now. We're there at the end of the month. Beat Vibrations.
Are there any other regional ZZ Top tribute bands?
There's one in the Bay Area. There's one in LA.
I don't know if the LA ones are still performing, because I kind of follow them all. The ones in the Bay Area are. The one in the Bay Area is still performing. They play real good. We're more over the top. We're more the visual. These guys have been together for years. They play good. They look good. You know what I mean? They're a good band. But all the stuff with the guitars and the wardrobe and the stage set, we give more of a show, and we're a show band. We book more to casino showrooms. We're not a bar band. We've done that.
So are you guys able to actually relax and watch another tribute band, or do you find that you watch it with a critical eye?
No, we'll enjoy the show.
Yeah, I
You know,
watch, yeah.
We have different approaches. But I like looking at, we're friends with other tribute bands all over the world. And
Yeah,
we watch
exactly.
each other's videos and chat with each other.
All over the world.
Appreciating what we're doing.
Nice.
Yeah, there's tributes in Germany and in France that are our friends. We're always commenting on each other, and a lot of times you'll get a private message. Hey, John, where'd you get this? Who'd you get this? Hey, can you do that for me? Can you build this for me?
It's nice when you get a community like that, though, that supports each other too. It's not
That's
just-
what it's about. No haters. Everybody does what they can do to support each other. Yeah. Now, if they were local, oh no, they wouldn't get no information. But since they're over in Germany,
take them out back
I don't
and
think
talk
they're gonna sneak in the back door to Cascade and get us. Know what I mean? Yeah, they could be my buddies. Just stay in Germany.
Right? As long as we're not competing, huh? What do you want people to take away about the band? Like, what do you want them to know about you guys, your band? Any last minute kind of stuff?
Just all the hard work that we do just to bring the ZZ Top experience to you. We want to come in, do the show. We want to watch everybody rocking and screaming. And when they're walking out the joint, I want them all to be going, how, 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 how. I want this stuff to just resonate in their ears. You know what I mean? I want them to really, to get out there and say, man, them guys, they look like them, they played like them. We want to be the best that we can be as ZZ Top on that stage for those people.
Jesus just left Chicago and he's bound for New Orleans. Well, now Jesus just left Chicago and he's bound